Welcome to Simon's New York Stories. So, anyhow, we'll be getting right back into it. So, I got clean and I had to do something I had to do something right away. I tried working as a cab driver. That was crazy. The first you had to be there like 4:30 in the morning or something, and you had to pay. You had to lease your cab. So like you had to give them money up front. You're paying to work. So you had to give them $80 and then back then and then they gave you the cab. So now you're in this cab and you got it for 12 hours. You gotta try to make your money back, and it wasn't so fucking easy, believe it. You get traffic, you get people that are shitty tippers, you have you know, you just get into some bad positions, like get in an area where nobody wants a cab ride, and I had so many I had so many weird fares. And I hardly ever drove a car before, except when we would steal one or something. Sometimes we'd steal a car, or we'd drive it, or like that kind of shit. But I didn't even have a fucking license, and then I finally got a license, and I'm a fucking cab driver here with like hardly. The few times I tried to drive, I wound up like running into a Burger King sign, or just veering across the fucking street with no fucking, like now I'm a fucking cab driver. This is who drives you. So the very first, there's, it's like fucking 5 in the morning. The sun hasn't come up. I'm like, don't know what the hell I'm doing. And this guy hails the cab, and he goes, "Take me to the police precinct in Astoria." And he goes, "Step on it, step on it." And I was like, I don't want to get pulled over. And he whips out his badge. He goes, "Don't worry, I'm a cop." So I was like, they had these four Crown Victorias, they're pretty fast fucking cars. So I was like, let me see what this fucker will do. And we were on 21st Street in Astoria, and we hit this bump, and the whole fucking cab just took off in the air, and then like bang down on the ground, and I mean we must have been doing 90, 100 miles an hour. And anyway, so the guy goes, "Hey, you drive like my partner." So I got him to the precinct. It was outside. I picked him up outside the fucking Waldorf Astoria hotel. So the other time they turned the cab over to me, and there's like this wig and these fishnet stockings and all this nasty like underwear in the back of the cab. Like, I don't want to know. Another time, I'm kind of having I never really had a good day at work. It was impossible. I'd be out in the street all day and make like $30. It was just it was like utilitarianism. It was like utilitarian. You're just out there out on the street all day and like maybe making $30 after your gas and, leasing the cab and everything. So this big guy is hailing the cab, and he was wearing patch of a well-known motorcycle club. And he had this lady with him, and he was like, he gets in the cab, like, "How you doing, bro?" He gets in the cab, he goes, "Hey, take me to Lincoln Center." And I was like, that's pretty cool. I said, "No problem." So we're going. He goes, "You probably wondering why I'm going to Lincoln Center, right?" He's like this big biker guy with it. He's flying the flag. He's got his patch on with his name and everything in his club. And I was like, "Well, tell you the truth, yeah, let me know. Tell me." He's like, my girlfriend here, she's dancing. She's a ballerina. We're going to the ballet. So, and then this is right after I got clean, and he's getting high in the back. He's like, "Hey, man, you want a blast?" I was like, "Thanks, buddy. I'm on the wagon today. I'm just on the wagon right now, man, but I appreciate it." And the guy tipped me $10. This is in like 1989. The guy tipped me like $10 when we got to Lincoln Center. So that's my other favorite cab story. Other than that, it sucked being a cab driver. Cab drivers and bike messengers hate each other, And I busted up a few cabs in my day, busted the windows, the mirrors, shit like that. But I went back to, I was on both sides of the fucking war. I mean, as far as like, I was a cab driver too. I went back to being a bike messenger. And there's a couple of things about being a bike messenger I didn't get into. Like, we had eventually, the really shitty part of your job was always the phones, right? Because, you got to put a quarter to the phone, and then there's some fucking guy on the phone telling somebody his fucking life story, and then you wait and you wait, and it's New York. You got to do one run, another run, another run. You got to keep moving. And it's like now you got to wait for this fucking guy to get off the phone, and then the phone don't work, or they mobile keeps you on hold. They don't care. You're just a peon to them. They treat you like shit. So like finally the walkie-talkies came out and the bop chains, right? So now I could start when you have the big bop chain. Now I could ride a good bike. Now I had a nice track bike, a Matsuri, Japanese Matsuri with like all Suntour hubs and bottom bracket and cranks and everything on. It was a nice fucking track bike. And I had the bop chain and the walkie-talkie, and I wasn't making a lot. I never made a lot of money as a messenger unless I was doing something illegal like slinging weed. But doing the square gig, like the legit stuff, you never made very much money. But I did it for a long time. I didn't do it as long as my buddy Squid. He did it for 30 years. I think I did it on and off for 26. But I can't be in an office. I'm not a civilized person. I'm feral. I am not part of society. I X'd myself out of your fucking society a long time ago, and I don't want to come back. And so being a bike messenger suits me because I cannot be in an office or any kind of job where I got to be like a part of society. Can't do it. So then the next thing I wanted to get, so we had the walkie-talkies. It made things a lot easier. Then my favorite place was Streetwise, and I liked it just because Fat Dominic was so nice, like my kids. My kids were there, and they were really little kids. They were like in middle school, and they were there on their little their little BMX and Stingray bikes and shit. And they came to wait for me at work. And Fat Dominic bought them ice cream, and then he sent them around a corner. He gave them money. And he sent them with one of the messengers. He said, "Put $20 on this horse, but do it exactly." He gave him a walkie-talkie. He goes, there was something like they was going to put the $20 on the horse like when the race had just started, not before the race, but like right. So he was monitoring the race, and he blips them on it. They put the $20 on the horse, and they fucking hit. They made all this fucking money, so they bring the money back, and they gave him some money and bought him ice cream and shit. And some of the shit we did at Streetwise was like not, we had like a lot of dodgy shit going on, like the numbers. Like they would give me these slips, and one guy would bet like 5,857 or whatever, like or 666, and I'd bring them back to Streetwise. I don't know what he did with them, but I'd have all the numbers on these little slips, and then the football pool, right? So I'd have it. I'd come back and I'd have like $50 from this office and $50 from that office. They had this football pool going, so half my runs were gambling shit, and they were big gamblers. So like you'd come in on Monday morning, and like the stingy Bobby would have his fucking head down on the desk, and he'd be just angry and miserable, and he wouldn't want to talk because he'd lost. Sometimes you come in and they won, and they'd be all happy, or they'd be fighting, But they were great to work for. They never broke my fucking balls. Like I could just I love Dominic. One time I asked him for an extra day of work, and he goes, "Simon, you got carte de la blanche. You can work here. Carte de la blanche." That's how he just said it. And Dominic Felicio, man, I love that fucker guy. So that's more bike messenger stories. And then what else is going on right now? we'll get into some more of the history. I had a good day today. I finally went surfing. It's been so flat for the last 5 weeks. We had this fucking monster ass flat spell, like no fucking waves, man. And I went surfing. Not that the waves were great, but I got a couple of good waves. And then me and my girlfriend, we went for a nice long bike ride. We did 13 miles. So, and then I just been practicing guitar and stuff. So, you know, I had a pretty good day. I really don't have any gigs. There's no gigs left in Rockaway. I don't have any gigs out here anymore. Every place, oh, we're not having live music no more, or they don't want me no more. And things are kind of a low ebb now. And the recording studio is busy. They're doing all this other stuff, so I'm trying to get a session in there. I want to make a record, you know. Uh, but there's no gigs or very few gigs. Nobody gets back. I guess nobody wants me around anymore. I'm fucking old. I'm old and wrinkly and obsolete, but I don't give a shit. All I want to do is play my instruments, practice, hang out with my girlfriend, hang out with my kids, go surfing, ride my bike. I don't give a fuck about the fucking outside world anymore. I really don't. I really don't, man. You know, if the music business doesn't want me anymore, fuck them. All right. So if nobody told you that they love you today, I love you all. Mwah. Have a good night.